I don't know why, but every time I try to stream this game, something goes wrong. Either it's like the software bugging out, and like not picking it up on the game capture, or it's just incredibly laggy and like unplayable. But I think we should be good now. So, oh yeah, last time we left off with the investigation. Well, so let's get on with that. And yeah, as I was saying, we might, depending on the time, potentially, very maybe, the very small chance that we could finish this game, and I would really like that. Because all we have left in Chapter 5 is the investigation and the class trial. The class trial is really short, from what well, at least in comparison to the other ones. And Chapter 6 is also shorter is also maybe a bit shorter, like, in terms of stuff you have to do, because, well, it's the final chapter. But anyway, let's just get on with it. I don't know why, I'm feeling I'm just feeling like upbeat and like motivated to just play the game, because yeah. Anyway, well, I'd better start by checking out the Lakuma Files. Due to the explosion, the victim's identity is unknown. They were, however, dead before the blast. The victim had been stabbed a single time with a knife which went completely through the body. They had also been struck in the head with an object about as thick as a metal pipe. The body was covered with other wounds, but these were at least several days old. That doesn't... So even the Lakuma Files didn't tell us who the victim actually was. Could it really be Kyoko? Or... No, wait, hang on. It can't be the same person that we saw, like... Who, like, we woke up to see looming over us in, like, before this in-game day, because that was only last night in-game. So it can't be several days old, so it can't be... And we know that Kyoko was alive because she was there after that person left. At least, that's what I assume is the case. Why am I even trying to pretend? I already played the game. Anyway. But yeah. And it can't be the same person, so who is it? Let's find out or we're all dead. I need to go back to the scene of the crime. Back to the garden. Okay. The time to get started, I need to check anywhere that may be important from one end to the other. I just need to do what I always do. Are the chickens okay? Ooh, there's some chickens in the chicken coop. Count 4 chickens. 4? No, there was 5. What happened? Oh, I'm glad you're here. Listen, do you remember how many chickens there were in here? Of course, there were precisely 5. Yeah, right? What's wrong? There's only 4. No! There's only 4 chickens here now. We're 1 short. It's so weird. I wonder when it disappeared. I was down here just before nighttime last night. And there were definitely 5 chickens then. What are we gonna do? Going from 5 to 4 is gonna have an impact on the structure of the world. It's like a jigsaw puzzle. If even in a single piece disappears, the entire world will remain unfinished. I did my best to ignore Hero and focus on the problem at hand. Why did one of the chickens disappear? Could it be related to the case? Oh no. I don't like that. I don't like that one bit. Well, control sprinklers set to turn on at 7:30 every morning. Monica said that the time positively couldn't be changed. So the sprinklers turn on at 7... Why do we see the sprinklers should have gotten it wet? Which would mean the murder must have taken place. Okay. Big plants? Monica found him. Yeah, it's Probably not related to the case. That's just a normal career. Oh, a knife! There's a knife laying on the ground. Is this? It must be the knife that was stuck in the body before it exploded. The force of the explosion must have thrown it over here. The Monokuma file said the knife went all the way through the body from front to back. Does that mean this knife is what caused the fatal injury? Either way, this knife looks really familiar. Wait, is this? Yeah, that's it. It's the knife that person was holding. This is getting really weird. There's just too many strange coincidences. Whoever the person in the mask was that attacked me last night, they were holding that knife. And that same knife was used to stab the same masked attacker we found here. So maybe this masked person got stabbed because when they attacked, I was in kind of a trance. Maybe I reacted by grabbing the knife, and then maybe and if this really is Kyoko, and then Kyoko was the one that attacked me, why the mask? I just don't know. I don't remember anything clearly from last night. No, it can't be. There's no way. Let's have a crime scene. These look like fragments of something. They're all burnt, but so I can't really be sure, but I feel like I've seen something like it before. But where? Wait, was it there? I'll have to double check that later. Check and see the dead body. The body, talk to everybody, and shed. If I check the body more thoroughly, then maybe I'll find out for sure if it's Kyoko or not. Something weird about the body's fingernails. Oh, these are fake nails. They're really long. They seem like they get in the way of normal activity. But wait, Kyoko doesn't use fake nails because then they would cut through her gloves. So what's the deal? What's something on the back of her right hand? Is this a tattoo? It got burned, so I can't make out the whole thing, but it looks like a picture of a dog or something. I've never seen anything like it before. Tattoo on the right hand. The lower half of the body didn't get wet at all. After the body blew up, the top half got set on fire, so I dumped a bucket of water on it, which explains why the bottom half isn't wet. There's something strange about that, right? No, the sprinklers. Hang on. What? The white jacket the victim was wearing got totally burnt up. What? There's only one little piece left. The upper half of the body got set on fire in the explosion, so it's totally blackened, and the top half of the body is wet. From the water from the bucket. That's because they got set on fire and I threw water on it. Since I only threw water on the part that was on fire, the bottom half is still dry. In other words, there's nothing strange about the top half being wet. There isn't, right? Sword body analysis. No. Just talk to everyone. It's 11 o'clock right now. Okay. And oh, well, I was just thinking about when we first found the body. When the body was found, huh? I should look back at what I did this morning to help me remember when that was. Monokuma's announcement woke me up at 7 o'clock. As usual, I headed for the dining hall pretty soon. Once I got there, I met up with Hina. That was right around 7:30. Then I headed to the gym where everyone else was waiting. Next, Toko went to get the pickaxe, and that's when she found the body. What time was it then? 9. Or like 9:01. Well, the gym is So probably 9 on the dot right now. That's right, it had to have been right around 9 o'clock. Now that you mention it, I think you're right. So I think we can say for sure that the body was found at 9 a.m. Okay, my job's done. That's a pretty small job. Good timing, Makoto. I want to talk to you. What do you want to talk about?
So, in other words...
I'd like to hear your alibi. Alibi?
In other words...
Correct. I'd like to hear where you were after nighttime began last night. Well, I was sick, so I fell asleep all night. But why are you asking about that now? And what's nighttime got to do with it?
Naturally.
Isn't it obvious? This murder took place after nighttime. How can you know that for sure? Because just after nighttime began, I came to the garden. I was going around looking for everyone so I could tell them about Monokuma. He wasn't spending most of his time in the garden in the last few days, so I figured he'd be in here. And there I can confirm that when they arrived last night, there was no body there.
In other words...
So the murder could have only taken place at some point during nighttime, after I left the garden. However, Toko, Hiro, Hina, and I were in the gym together the entire night last night. What? Once I found Hiro in the garden, we immediately went to Toko and Hina's rooms to get them. At that point, we all went to the gym and began dismantling Monokuma. As a precaution, we made sure not to go anywhere alone. We even went to the bathroom in Paris. In other words, all 4 of us have airtight alibis. Now the only ones who don't have alibis are me and Kyoko. Right. And if the victim really is Kyoko, then I'm the only one without an alibi. So when you go to the gym, also when we went to go get Hina and Toko, we stopped by your room as well. But you never came to the door. So where precisely were you sleeping? I'm telling the truth. I was in my room and I was dead asleep. I had a fever, so that's hardly an alibi. No. So, what now? You seem to be at quite the disadvantage here. I'm the only one without an alibi. That's really bad, isn't it? So, who does that body belong to? Whoever it is, I'm not gonna look. I don't want to faint anymore. For Fortnite, really active. Listen, Makoto, do you remember how the body looked? You know, before it blew up? If I remember right, it was wearing some kind of mask and a big white coat. Also, there was a knife sticking out of the stomach, and the area around it was stained with blood. Apparently, the wound had stopped bleeding, but the blood on the body was still wet. The Yakuza didn't have to touch it to avoid getting all bloody. But for how much blood there was on the body, I didn't see any on the ground around it.
Okay.
Oh, thanks, that's a big help. Now that you explained it, I totally remember how it looked. Having to talk about it like that helped me remember it a lot better too. So thank you, too. Body before the explosion. I just gotta check the shed. Just to be sure, I should take a look around the shed. The room is dusty and disorganized. In other words, a pretty stereotypical tool shed. Is this a tarp? That wasn't there before. Wait, was there a tarp in here before? Nope. I should probably look into that. Could be related to the case. The top is wet and covered with mud and grime. But the underside, it's totally clean and completely dry. One side of the tarp is wet and dirty. Something about that bothers me. Yeah, that concerns me too. Because if my thinking's right, that's how the body wasn't wet when the sprinklers. That's why the lower half of the body isn't wet, because the sprinklers. If the sprinklers went off, but like when they were murdered, like the time we're thinking, then yeah, it would most definitely probably be wet. even if we came to it at, like, at 9 or 11, as in the game right now, it would probably still be wet then, because, I don't know. I think it would still be wet, pretty much. But with the tarp, that wouldn't happen. But how did the knife get through there? Because I don't think we didn't see a hole in the knife, in the tarp. So they wouldn't have stabbed it through. Maybe they laid it on top of the knife? But then again, would that cover the whole body? Because, like, some of it is used to, like, would it still cover the... I don't know. This is some scatterbrain thinking. I think I've checked everything I need to in this area, but not done yet. There are other areas I need to check. Specifically that fragment I found before. And there's somewhere I need to go in order to confirm my suspicions. And I still need to find out more about Kyoko. Is that corpse really Kyoko? That's true. Is that also Kyoko who attacked me last night? If I can find out more about her, then maybe I can answer that question. Kyoko was never the kind of person to talk about herself all that much. Maybe if I can get into her room, I'll be able to find out more. But a key to her room, Byakuya has it. I will simply limit your options. Yeah. I don't have a choice. I have to see if they'll let me borrow her room key. Alright, Byakuya. Hey, Byakuya? If you do come up with an alibi, I'd be happy to hear it. Later. At the class trial. Oh, no, it's not about that. You have the key to Kyoko's room, right? I was hoping I could borrow it. I'm afraid I can't take that risk. You're the prime suspect, after all. Of course, if I were to go with you, that would be a different story. Then will you go with me? Sorry, I have my own agenda to take care of. Find me again later and we'll see. Depending on my mood, I may go with you, or I may not. Come back later, huh? Okay then. Okay, then in the meantime, I should look around somewhere else. Maybe you should check out that one area. Yep. Ah, okay. Wait, the bomb is gone. Welcome to saying this on the floor, but I figured it was. You know? You found something with it. A bomb, there's always something going on. Yeah. That bomb went missing. There's no doubt about that. The fragments I found in the garden. Fragments near the dead body has been updated in the truth bullet section of your handbook. Yeah, I checked everything else I can think of. All that's left now is Kyoko's room. I should head back to the garden and ask Byakuya. You think you can go soon, Byakuya?
Let's go.
You want us to check out Kyoko's room, right? Very well. Let's go. Wait for me! Well then, here we go. Byakuya took out the key and slid it into the keyhole, and then... And it's open. Looks like it. Thanks. So this is Kyoko's room. Nothing out of the ordinary as far as I can see. Except for this. There's something on the table. It's a woodblock decoration.
What?
What's that? What purpose does it serve? I think it's probably a key. Those lockers look like really traditional public bathhouses use. The locker at those really traditional public bathhouses use them for their lockers. I wouldn't know. I've never gone to a public bathhouse. That really doesn't surprise me. It's hard to picture Byakuya doing something like that.
It's certainly possible.
But if it is a key, I think I might know what it unlocks. A key or someone's hobby. What? What? Unless I'm mistaken, I'm pretty sure I saw something in the dojo this might go to. Dojo? I think it would be wise to look around a bit more, okay? Jeez. The pen? I don't see anything interesting here. Nothing else out of the ordinary. So, who's that? Join us certain knuckles. You got to try. I better not look inside. Yeah, probably not a good idea. You want to come here, right? So what is it you're looking for? Nothing in particular. Just thought we might find some kind of clue here. Clue that might help us understand Kyoko. You can't be serious. That's why you made me take time out of my search to come here? Sorry. Regardless, if you plan on poking around at random, you're doomed no matter how much time you take. Surely you'll have something more concrete. Something to give us some sort of direction here. More concrete. Oh, I know! Maybe Kyoko gave me something. What's this?
It's true.
Oh yeah, it's the letter. The letter. Something never happened to me. You know, I've been thinking. What have you been thinking about? Sure, I have it here somewhere. Found it. What's in the envelope? Kyoko gave it to me. She said if something ever happened, I should open it. Well, something has certainly happened, so open it. These guys aren't probably just here for the clues. I can't. Probably. I doubt it. I doubt that they are inside here. Under the sheets. You might be onto something.
What?
You might be onto something. That's all that was in there? Yeah, it looks like it. Under the sheets. What could it be? Under the sheets! What could it be? I wonder. What's this? Crumbled up piece of paper. Oh, Mukuro Ikusaba. It's a student registry thing for Mukuro. Okay. Mukuro Ikusaba?
I see.
It appears to be Mukuro Ikusaba's profile. Yeah, it looks like it. That's probably the other thing Kyoko stole when she snuck into the headmaster's room along with the key. God, you're so annoying. Fine, I'll tell you. It was a key, and this must be the blank that Monokuma was talking about. Kyoko said a death without meaning was unappealing. And this is what she left behind. You don't have time for your sentimental indulgences. Hurry up and finish your search. Okay. Look at the profile sheet. Name: Mukuro Ikusaba. Sex: female. The ultimate soldier. Although small for her age, she was a military specialist. Is trained in every weapon type imaginable. Wow. She showed an interest in the military from childhood, and soon found herself completely absorbed in it. In elementary school, she won a survival game tournament and began writing for military magazines. Just before entering middle school, while she and her family were on vacation in Europe, she disappeared. The story of a young Japanese girl being kidnapped quickly took over Japanese media outlets. An intense international investigation turned up no information, and she was never found. However, including La Chanka. However, she reappeared in Japan 3 years later, alone and completely unannounced. She revealed that she had joined a mercenary group known as Fenrir for those 3 years. She insisted that she had been kidnapped. that she hadn't been kidnapped, that she received battle training of her own volition. One of the most feared styles of combat in the world. Oh yeah, yeah, definitely probably trained in that. However, she never revealed why she decided to return home when she did. I think I might know. I think I might know. I'm not sure if it will be a spoiler, but if it's what I'm thinking, probably because of probably because of that. The Ultimate Soldier mercenary group doesn't feel real. The world I grew up in, it's like a completely different dimension. It's like one's non-fiction and the other is sci-fi. There's no way to even compare the two. That's how different this is. That was how I saw things as just an ordinary person. But then
I see.
I never imagined I would hear the name Fenrir in a place like this. Huh? You recognize it?
Naturally.
The Fenrir Mercenary Corps is a collection of battle-crazed warmongers. But they do have their uses. And they will always get the job done. That's worth remembering. This is all part of a world totally removed from the one I live in. I have to say, I'm intrigued. Every rumor I've heard says that Fenrir has already...
Found it!
Whoa, I feel like our hero is becoming a bit player and a bit player is becoming a hero. Our hero. Ah, it's you!
What?
Maybe you got your pretty little hand there. Uh-oh. You found her profile? So what if we did?
Hey!
Don't freak out on me.
Now.
I'm not gonna hold it against you or anything. In case you're wondering, I don't hold it against Kyoko either. Even though she stole it and hid it. Fenrir is also the name of a Norse beast. It's actually a giant wolf. True. Yeah. After all, there's no rule against stealing, is there? Well, I can't forgive is Miss Ogami, who broke the rules and busted into the headmaster's room. Maybe I'll drag her corpse out here and slice it up and devour it. Bears are omnivorous, you know?
What?
Are rule violations really so unforgivable? You're quite adamant about those regulations of yours. Of course I am. A proper school life is built on the dedication to organize and order. Which is why even I, as a school headmaster, have to follow the regulations myself. Oh, so you're saying you have to follow your own rules as well?
Of course!
Absolutely. I can't have you complaining about how unfair it all is, now can I? In fact, on the subject of fairness, would you like to know something interesting? Interesting? This is about the one writing out the rules. They're actually one of the participants in this killing game. I don't think I ever told you how many participants there actually were, did I? I was thinking I should probably clarify that.
Hey!
When you all first got here in the main hall, way back when, there were 15 people there, right? Well, yeah, look, it's everybody. I think that first meeting may have led to a little misunderstanding among you all. Amogus. Misunderstanding, you say?
In
Are you
other
saying?
words,
That's right. There weren't actually 15 of you.
yes
The
indeed!
total number of students taking part in this killing game was actually 16. 16? Then,
Mikuro Ikusaba, the 16th student, lying hidden somewhere in this school. The one they call the ultimate despair. Watch out for her.
the 16th student, Mukuro Ikusaba. She's part of this school life. So the one making all the regulations is...
Why?
Huh?
Did you say something? Why are you telling us this?
Hmm.
Oh, well, because... Like I told you, this killing game is desperately popular. You won't believe the ratings. And since we've got so many viewers now, I want to make sure everyone was on the same page. I don't want to wake up a hurricane of complaints and hate mail, you know?
Yes indeed!
Makes sense?
Well now.
Okay, that's all you get for now. Oh, actually, I do have some revenge to get, so I have an extra bonus for you. I want to get back at that sneaky Miss Kirigiri, so I'm gonna share a little secret with you. Seriously?
Hey!
You know how she wears those stupid gloves day in, day out all the time? Well, don't tell anyone I told you, but she wears them to cover a bunch of hideous scars that she doesn't want anyone to see. What? Okay, now that's all you get. Monokuma's account doesn't. Kyoko's wear those gloves to cover up a bunch of scars? Wait, so on the back of her hand, tattoo. Wait, but no, Monokuma specifically said that they were scars, right? And that's why Kyoko wears those gloves to hide the scars, which means that isn't Kyoko. The fake nails on the corners. Are you thinking about Kyoko again?
What?
Forget about her. What matters right now is uncovering Monokuma's trap. His trap?
Such ignorance.
God must have really hated you to make you so dull. Don't you remember what Monokuma just told us? Okay, asshole. He said there were 16 students, right? Which means Mukuro was a student here. Obviously. Monokuma was trying to tell us that Mukuro is the one creating the rules to the game. But why would he tell us that? And why now? He said he wanted to make things clear so there wouldn't be any complaints later. But the mere fact he said that proves that Mukuro is connected to this case. That's why Monokuma revealed the existence of a 16th student. He needs to make our investigation fair. Mukuro is related to the case.
It's certainly possible.
Perhaps she's the one who killed Kyoko. What? That would explain why we have a class trial, wouldn't it? If she's a student and she killed someone, that would make her part of the school killing game. Mukuro is the killer? She killed Kyoko? Anyone should be able to come to that conclusion, don't you think? In fact, that's exactly what I thought when the investigation first began.
What?
But, based on what Monokuma just told us, I've changed my
It's all
mind.
clear now.
Mukuro Ikusaba isn't the culprit. Huh? What makes you say that? We thought Mukuro, the ultimate despair, was the mastermind's true identity, but if that's true, Monokuma's behavior makes no sense. Why would the mastermind go out of their way to reveal themselves to us? That's a good
in
point.
other words,
Mukuro giving us information that would raise questions about her would be bold, to say the least. It makes more sense, then, to assume that Mukuro isn't the culprit. So that's the trap. They want us to suspect Mukuro and come to the wrong conclusion. That's what makes sense to me. Yeah, that makes sense. The way you say it, it definitely seems possible. But if that's really true, if Mukuro isn't the killer, then who is? Well then, I believe our work here is finished. Let's move on. I'm sure there are other places in need of investigation. I should find out about that key in the dojo. I should find out if that key and the dojo are really connected.
let's go.
Well, are you coming? Ewe with Byakuya. Epic. Hurry up and check the locker. That's what we're here for, after all. That's it. Okay. I had to aim really specifically. I couldn't just aim at the locker. There are wooden lockers here. They use woodblock keys, just like those super traditional public bathhouses. It looks like the key we found in Kyoko's room really does go to one of these lockers.
I see.
Makoto, do you see the locker farthest to the right?
Very strange.
That's the only one that doesn't have a key in it at the moment. You understand what that means, right? I should probably use the key we found on that locker, right?
That's right.
Well, just try it. Okay. I took out the woodblock key and inserted it into the locker's metal lock, and it opened. The locker eagerly accepted the key, and it opened. There are arrows in here. It looks like 10 arrows in total. They look like they're made of titanium, which means they're quite strong despite how thin they are. Of course, without a bow, they're nothing but strong little sticks. Strong sticks? Titanium arrows have been added to the truthful section over here. Oh, your handbook, okay. Oh, there's something else inside the locker. It's a wadded up ball of duct tape. I wonder what this was used for. Is that a blood
I
stain?
see.
If it is, that means it must surely be related to the case. This duct tape is related to the case somehow? But how could it possibly be involved? Bloody duct tape has been added. I think that's all the locker has to offer for now. Something wrong?
Strange.
It's very odd, don't you think? The locker was hiding items that were clearly related to the case. But then the key to the locker wind up in the victim's
Why?
room. Or perhaps... Yakuya? Forget it. Come on, we need to continue on to the next location. Huh? What next location? There's still something we need to look into. We need to do more research on Fenrir. Fenrir? You mean the mercenary group that Mukuro was a part of? But how are we supposed to find out about that? Isn't it obvious? Where in this school would you go to do research on something? Research? Are we talking about the archive? That's right. The archive has all kinds of info that the general public doesn't have access to.
Let's go.
We only have so much time before the trial begins. Let's hurry. Yakuya is definitely a lot chiller than he was at the beginning of the game. I believe there was a file related to Fenrir somewhere over here. Yakuya seemed to know about the archive like the back of his hand and went straight to the shelf in the back. Ah, here we go. He quickly returned it with a file in hand. I know I need to talk to Yakuya. I thought I was highlighting him.
I see.
Take a look at this. I have no idea what it says. What language is this? How'd you make it all the way into high school without learning a single word of French? I'm pretty sure most high schoolers can't speak French. I can't, so haha. Well, whatever. I'll read it for you, but I expect you to repay your debt 100 times over. 100 times? Isn't that kind of extreme? Fenrir is an elite fighting unit, based out of the Middle East. Unlike military contractors, they are a fierce group of soldiers who engage in direct combat. They claim that a single member is equivalent to an entire company of regular soldiers. Just like Fenrir, the Wolf of Ragnarok, their mere presence is enough to strike fear into any enemy. Hey, the fact that it was a northeast actually makes sense. Nice. And also, if I could, from what I saw in like the file, their logo was a wolf. Yeah. They have been involved in countless military battles and operations, most of which are highly classified. However, some time ago, they completely ceased all activity. At present, their continued existence cannot be confirmed. There are unconfirmed reports that the key members of the group were all neutralized. Rumors indicate they were killed to keep them from revealing the many state secrets they'd acquired. Some, however, believe there was mounting internal tension within the group, and they simply imploded.
What?
What is it? This all just sounds like some kind of alternate reality. Well, it isn't. This is our reality, the only reality. These people are a part of our world. Their battlefields aren't much different from our lives here, an unpredictable and unimaginable world. That's what makes it all so exciting. Exciting definitely isn't the word I would use. So, did anything jump out at you? This may be our last opportunity to learn about Fenrir. Now that you mention it, the report said something about where the name Fenrir comes from, right? That's right. It said Fenrir is the Wolf of Ragnarok. Speaking of which, would you like to know something interesting related to that? To show they're a member of each team, each soldier that joins the squad will get a tattoo representing Fenrir somewhere on their body. The body has one. The body has one on its right hand. It's Mukuro. Definitely Mukuro. Body, could that mean been updated? We ready? It's about time we got started with this dang trial.
Time is utterly silent, and yet it constantly assaults us organisms, the earth, natural phenomena. It damages us little by little until the end. You should really think about that. Anyway, it's time to begin the class trial. So, please meet up in the usual spot. See you later.
You're ready for night 6? And the time has come. All we can do now is try to uncover the truth during the
That's
class
right.
trial. It would seem that way. Let's go. Oh, Byakuya and Makoto showed up together. Where the heck have you two been? You just disappeared without a word. You were investigating, of course. How could you not figure that out by this point? Makoto's ranked high enough for you guys to go off together? Just the two of you? What? Are you jealous?
Hey.
Or are you making up some kind of creepy fantasy for yourself?
What?
Stop talking and brace yourselves. He'll be here any second. Any second. He'd show up at any time. When I imagined what was about to happen, I immediately tensed up and prepared myself, but... We stood there for 5 full minutes waiting for something weird to happen. Then 5 minutes became 10.
Why?
What's going on here? Why hasn't Monokuma showed up yet?
Could it be?
Maybe he died again? What should we do? Should we keep waiting here, or... Or what? Jesus! Did I scare you?
Come on.
I demand an explanation. Why did you waste my time and make me wait like that? What? I made you wait? You got it all backwards. You're the ones making me wait. Huh?
In other words,
I'm waiting for everyone to arrive. We can't start till everyone's here now, can we? What are you talking about? Everyone is here. We've all been waiting for you. Sorry, but you're wrong. I've been waiting 10 minutes now, so it's okay if I punish the one making us all wait, right? If we all agree it's a violation, I'll arrange a punishment right now. It's me you're waiting for. If it's me you're waiting for, I'm here. When we heard that voice, we all spun around to look around.
Hey,
I'm here, and no rules has been broken. Kyoko! Kyoko? You're still alive? No, that's a ghost! Stop talking. If you want to fight, do it at the class trial. You need to save some of that fun for later, right?
What?
But is it okay that there's no particular penalty for being late?
is that right?
I made it here just fine. What school regulation did I break? Did I violate? Am I wrong? You're so selfish, so spoiled. You're right, there's no penalty officially. But I bet you'll be sorry later. Now make sure you're sorry later. Anyway, hustle your butts onto the elevator. I'll be just one step ahead of you. And when Monokuma was gone, we all rushed up to Kyoko. Kyoko! So you really didn't die?
Indeed.
Of course I didn't die. Thank God. I'm so glad you're okay. Perhaps that's not necessarily a good thing for us. Huh? He's right, now we gotta deal with a ghost! I told you, stop talking.
Let's go.
Come on, let's just go. Whatever we need to discuss, we could do it during the trial. Without ever looking directly at Kyoko, Byakuya stepped into the elevator. Master, wait for me! Good call. Who knows what might happen if we take too long.
but
I'll be happy when this trial is all over. One after another, everyone piled into the elevator. But I couldn't help myself. I had to talk to Kyoko before the trial started. Listen, before we get started, I have to ask you. Where have you been this whole time? You used that key of yours to go somewhere, didn't you? So,
Correct.
I went to investigate the 2nd floor of the dorms. Oh. Okay. 2nd floor?
That's right.
There aren't any monitors or cameras there, so I was able to avoid Monokuma completely. Of course, I also missed his announcement because of that. I had no idea a body had been discovered. When did you find out?
So...
Just now. I finished my search and came back down just in time to hear the class trial announcement. Took some time to go over the crime scene first. I can't go to a trial completely uninformed, can I? So that's why you were late.
However...
I'm sorry if I kept you all waiting. If you were on the 2nd floor of the dorms, And that's what the key you found goes to?
Wrong.
Actually, to be precise, not quite.
In other words,
I use Monokuma's secret tool, which can open any lock in the school. What? Kyoko's account.
Just a second.
Hey, what are you two doing? Hurry up before we get in trouble with Monokuma.
Makoto.
We can go over all the details after we get through the trial, okay, Makoto? Right now, I just want to focus on surviving our current situation.
It would seem...
Because this is probably the single most crucial moment so far for me. For her? That's a strange way to put it. The class trial is important for everyone, right? So why would she say it's a crucial moment for her?
Goodbye.
Well, if that's all. Seemingly unconcerned, Kyoko made her way to the elevator. I'm just overthinking what she said, right? Being the last one left, I stepped into the elevator. Alright, guys! Class trial time, and the door slid shut. This time, the clunking was loud enough to hurt my ears, and the dread began to consume me once again. I can't imagine ever getting used to the mental pressure that comes with preparing for an execution. In that dusky darkness, nobody said a word. We just stood there, silent and still. After an immeasurable period of time, the doors opened without warning. The dazzling light penetrated every depth of my eyes. But it wasn't the illuminating light of hope. It was the blinding light of despair. Ooh, this is colorful.
I can't wait!
The time for pointless jokes and jabs has passed.
Thrills, chills,
Let's
chills!
get on with the show. And so the curtain opened for the 5th time. A deadly judgment, a deadly deception, a deadly betrayal, a deadly riddle, a deadly defense, a deadly faith, a deadly class trial. Alright, I think we got another skill. Yeah, we did. That's epic. Here's focus gauge by 2. Yes. Give me. Do we have any more? I don't think, yeah, no, we don't. Alright. Let's finish preparations and all rise for the class trial, I guess.
Let's begin with a basic Okay, well, I'll leave the rest up to you.
Well then, let's discuss the specifics of the victim. First, we need to clarify who exactly the unidentified victim is.
It's Kyoko. There's no other explanation.
But Kyoko's standing right there.
No, that's a ghost!
But she has legs and stuff.
Well, that's just because she's like the latest evolution in ghost technology.
Oh my god, Hero. What the hell, bro?
There's a limit to how much ridiculousness I can tolerate.
Honestly, say.
Okay. So I just have to prove that the corpse isn't Kyoko, right? Then let's compare Kyoko's traits to the traits of the dead body.
Her traits?
An important trait that Kyoko proves. Why does he do it? Go on to her. Kyoko's piercing glove. Nah, it's the gloves.
I'm talking about her gloves. They'll give us some insight into the mystery. I'm sure of it.
In that case, I think it would be helpful if someone explained why she actually wears those gloves.
And would you happen to know the answer?
Yes.
In fact, Monokuma told me. Apparently you have scars on your hands you don't want anyone to see.
Oh, you know, now that I think about it, the corpse wasn't wearing any gloves, right?
They probably just got burnt up in the explosion. I'm not convinced. The ghost is just trying to fool us all.
Hero, you are such an idiot. There's no way that the corpse was Kyoko. If I can't prove why, I'm gonna be stuck here, and the case won't move forward. So I don't have any choice but to. Oh boy! Make our arguments. It's either the fake nails or the tattoo on the right hand. I'd say.
That Kyoko there is just a ghost.
Impossible.
Okay, then prove it. Prove she's not a ghost.
Fake nails.
The dead body wasn't wearing gloves.
That's right.
They got burnt up in the explosion.
The ghost? Interesting.
Then she was wearing gloves before the explosion.
Well, yeah, she must have been wearing gloves.
Nope.
No, that's wrong.
No, that's wrong! Hell yeah, I haven't done this in a while. Ooh.
No, there's no way the corpse was wearing gloves. Whoever it was, they were wearing fake nails, remember? I imagine trying to wear gloves over nails like that would have been a pretty big pain. Besides, Kyoko wears gloves to hide her hands, right? It'd be pretty weird for someone who's self-conscious about their hands to wear fake nails, don't you think?
Jeez, man, you don't know women, huh? They're complicated like that.
If anyone doesn't know women, it's you.
True.
Oh, Kyoko, any thoughts?
These gloves were custom made to the size of my hands to make sure they don't interfere with my daily life. If I wore fake nails, the gloves wouldn't fit properly.
Then that's that. The dead body doesn't belong to Kyoko.
Which should have been obvious since she's standing right here.
That...
Okay, so then, who's the real victim? First, we need to figure that out.
That's the first thing I said. You're the one who's been dragging us around in circles.
Before anything, we have to identify the victim. Everything starts from there. It's Mukuro. I mean, who else is it? Who else will it be? The tattoo on the right hand easily gives it away if you paid attention to the file, which had the Fenrir symbol.
Kyoko really is still alive. Then who died?
There's gotta be some way to figure it out. I don't think so. The face was scorched beyond recognition.
That's right.
And there wasn't any description in the Monokuma file. Well, if we can't identify
We
the
can.
body-
No, that's wrong.
Hell yeah.
There was one clue left behind that we can use to identify the body.
What? For real? If you're lying, you'll die a cruel and unusual death.
Cruel and unusual death. This I gotta see.
She's just being stupid. Ignore them, Makoto. Tell us what you're talking about.
The key to figuring out who it was is the tattoo on the back of her hand.
Oh, yeah. The design's pretty strange, huh? Is this a dog?
Wolf.
Her master must have made her get it.
Seriously? They really did something that humiliating?
No, that's not it. The identity of the victim is hidden within that tattoo.
Oh, really?
Yep. If you compare that tattoo to the other information we have, the victim's identity should become clear. Where is it? Mukuro Kusawa's profile.
I got it! The Fenrir Mercenary Corps. That's the name of the military group Mukuro Ikusaba belonged to.
Okay, so...
To show that they're a member of the team, each soldier that joins the squad would get a tattoo representing Fenrir somewhere on their body.
Fenrir?
The image that Fenrir represents is... a wolf. Specifically, the Wolf of Ragnarok. Wolf. Wolf. Nope.
Now I understand.
Hell yeah.
The representation of Fenrir is a wolf.
Fenrir, the Wolf of Ragnarok. It's from Norse mythology. A huge, world-ending wolf beast. He's the child of the trickster god Loki, and a female giant.
Man, after all this time, we finally got a glimpse of the literary all-star.
A wolf tattoo.
Exactly. Which means that person must have once belonged to Fenrir. So it must have been Mukuro.
What?
Hold on. Isn't she the one that was
Nope.
behind this?
Yusuf, yes indeed. The trial this time is to solve the murder of Mukuro Ikusaba.
Are you saying the mastermind is dead? And now we have to have a cool-ass trial?
Never said that they were the
No,
mastermind.
it means we were wrong in thinking that Mukuro was the mastermind at all.
But I mean,
Being the ultimate despair seems like a pretty
She's actually the
mastermind
ultimate
title to
soldier,
me.
so
Maybe we shouldn't have been thinking of her as the ultimate despair in the first place. After all, looking at her profile, I didn't see anything that would fit such a description. All it said was that she was the ultimate soldier. If I remember correctly, that other information came from Kyoko. That's what you told Makoto, right?
So that means...
And who was she? Who was Mukuro Ikusaba? She's been gone this whole time? And when she finally turns up, she gets killed.
Usually when there's a scene where an important character dies, it has a lot more detail.
So you're saying she wasn't an important character? Which would mean she was the same as us. Just another participant.
Then who's the real mastermind?
It must have been the Hope's Peak Academy headmaster after all.
No, the headmaster has nothing to do with it.
But how can we trust that? We already know your information about Mukuro was wrong.
My information was not wrong.
Okay. We're in the middle of a trial right now. Figuring out who killed Mukuro is first and foremost. Please limit all future prattle, chatter, and chit-chat as much as possible.
Fine.
Okay.
Uncovering the identity of the mastermind will have to wait. But remember this. No matter what happens, we will find out who you really are. I stake my family name on it.
That's when you know he's serious. Goddamn.
I have officially decided to completely ignore all such attempts at provocation. Now then, just so nobody's confused, let me state this one more time for the record.
Give me 1 second. Sorry about that.
The reason we're having a class trial is because a murder among the students has taken place. Hammer that point straight into your big ol' brains!
What you're saying is that both the victim and the culprit are part of the student body?
Then, one of us killed Mukuro?
Wait, no! There's a chance that there's some mystery 17th person who's been hiding all along!
Nope! There are only 16 students in total that have been taking part in these events.
Seriously? Then one of us killed Mukuro?
Who did it? Who's the killer this time?
Get a hold of yourself. We've already narrowed down the list of possible suspects.
Huh?
I'm sure you realize who I'm talking about, right, Makoto? Who?
And it only Mukuro and the headmaster, Toko and Genocide Jack. No, it's me. It's Makoto Kyoko.
You've narrowed it down to Kyoko and me, right?
Why do you say that?
Allow me to explain. Just after nighttime last night, I went to the garden, so I can confirm that at that point, there was no dead body there. So, the murder must have taken place after I left the garden. However, Hiro, Toko, Hina, and I were in the gym the entire time.
The gym?
That's right. The four of us were there trying to dismantle Monokuma. The whole time, we were very careful not to go anywhere alone. We even went to the bathroom in pairs. All of which is to say, the four of us all have alibis. The only ones without alibis
Are me and Makoto. That's why you're able to narrow down the list of suspects.
Kyoko can support her alibi of us being, like, incredibly tired and, like, sick, right? Damn it, I can't let this stand. Somehow I have to clear my name.
Are you thinking of raising?
Well, before that, I just want to try and get a better idea of what time the murder took place. Doing that might reveal some kind of clue.
Whatever you want. Somebody go ahead and help him out.
Me and Byakuya can both confirm that the body wasn't in the garden at... Well, it was after nighttime for sure. I'd say it must have been around 10 o'clock. So the murder must have happened after 10 p.m.
Got it.
And I guess we can say the time frame for the murder was between then and when we found the body? Oh, but what time did we find the body?
No,
The one
9.
who saw the body first was Toko, right? And she went to go get the pickaxe.
When someone's body discovered at 9 o'clock.
John,
So So you have a full
Body must have
11
been
hours to
discovered at 9
decide
a.m., since
where
that's
when it
Toko
was
went
when it
to get the
happened. Well,
pickaxe.
technically it should have been like during nighttime or actually after nighttime. But it would have to be during nighttime, I think. And nighttime ends at 7 a.m. or like 8 a.m. in game, so that's 9 hours. I think. Yeah.
He's right. It had to be around then.
So we can be totally sure the murder happened sometime between 10 at night and 9 in the morning.
For me, I was already asleep before nighttime hit, so I don't have an alibi after 10 o'clock. But I'm sure I met up with everyone else before 9 this morning.
We ran into each other in the dining hall, right? That was around... Oh yeah! Right around 7:30.
Okay, so that's our time frame.
I remember checking right before I went in, so I'm totally sure about it.
Which means from 10 p.m. to 7:30 a.m., you don't have an alibi.
The murder happened between 10 p.m. and 9 a.m. And I don't have an alibi from 10 p.m. till 7:30 a.m. Okay, then it looks like the game has begun. If I can't provide an alibi for that period, then I just have to prove the murder didn't happen during the time I don't have an alibi. To do that, I have to make it clear when the body ended up in the garden. Sprinklers, it wasn't wet, but also there was a tarp, so there's a tarp that I talked about earlier, so you know.
We've established a time frame for the murder. It took place somewhere between 10 o'clock at night and 9 o'clock in the morning.
Right.
Yep, and Makoto doesn't have an alibi for most of that time.
Yeah, from 10 o'clock to 7:30.
That's more than enough time to commit murder, I should think. So Makoto, if you have any objections, now would be the time.
Something happens in the garden at the same time every morning. Thinking back at form, the culture is almost a little dry. Alright.
We've established a time frame for the murder. It took place somewhere between 10 o'clock at night and 9 o'clock in the morning.
Yep, and Makoto doesn't have an alibi for most of that time.
Yeah, from 10 o'clock to 7:30.
No! God damn it. That's right, yeah.
Shoot!
We've established a time frame for the murder.
It took place somewhere between 9 o'clock.
Yep, and Makoto doesn't have an alibi.
Yeah, from to 7:30.
That's more than enough time. So Makoto, if you have any objections, now would be the time.
We've established a time frame for the murder. It took place somewhere between 10
It has to be. Ah!
No, that's wrong. Actually, the murder couldn't have happened anywhere near 10 o'clock.
And what makes you say that?
Because
Sprinklers.
of the sprinklers in the garden. The sprinklers are set to go off right at 7:30 every morning, right? So if the body had been in the garden before 7:30, then it should have been completely soaked.
Oh, hold on. I remember this part perfectly. The body was wet.
Sorry, Toko.
I'm wrong? Are you saying only the mouth down south was wet? How dare you spew such...
You wanna talk?
I'm saying that the body was wet, but not because of the sprinklers.
What do you mean by denying the sprinkler?
Man, you're totally wacko.
Agreed, hero.
If you really think it wasn't the sprinkler, you'd better tell us why!
I need to prove that it wasn't the sprinkler that got the body wet. All I have to do is hit Toko with certain evidence and that should do it. If you look at the body itself, that should make it clear. Oh? Is it BTB? Yeah.
I admit nothing. I hate you. No, no, no! I don't know anything! Hold on! Are you trying to blame me? I admit nothing. I hate you. No, no, no! I don't know anything! Hold on! Are you trying to blame me? I admit
should prove it. Just remember what the body was like after the explosion, and you'll see why it wasn't the sprinklers. The top half of the body was wet, yes, but the bottom half was completely dry. If the sprinklers got the body wet, shouldn't the whole body have been wet?
So they only got the top wet? The bottom was completely dry? What a brutal maniac!
I'm so sick of her.
Same.
Let's just move on. The reason only the top half was wet was because while the body was still on fire, I doused it with water. But only the part on fire, the top half.
Oh, then I guess...
I can let.
So if the sprinklers didn't get the body wet, then the murder must have taken place sometime after the sprinklers turned on at 7:30 in the morning.
Which means she must have been killed sometime between then and when the body was discovered at 9.
But Makoto's alibi was only missing from 10 o'clock.
So there's no way Makoto could have done it. I guess you had an alibi after all. Good for you.
In which case, the only one left without an alibi is Kyoko.
Kyoko's the only one who had an alibi, which would mean that Mukuro's killer is... No, I refuse to believe it. Kyoko murdered someone? That's...
I'd just like to say one thing. If you vote for me and I die here, the mystery of this school will stay hidden forever. Which is why I can't let that happen.
Huh?
So are you saying you're not the culprit?
Of course I'm not. I have no reason to kill anyone. This is a trap the mastermind has laid for us.
A trap?
We're this far into the game and now you decide to blame me? Stop wasting time! Stop wasting energy! You really think your little trick is gonna work?
Shut up, you!
Thank you, Byakuya.
You got it, boss! Shutting up now!
Anyway, Kyoko
like shutting down
actually
now, but
did
shutting
have a
up
reason
now.
to kill her.
Huh? She did?
What?
She thought Mukuro was the ultimate despair. In other words, the mastermind behind everything. So she killed her to try and put a stop to all this. Isn't that right, Kyoko? But you made one catastrophic mistake. Mukuro wasn't the mastermind at all. And as a result, we were forced into another trial. Something I'm sure you weren't at all expecting.
So, that was her motive?
If she had a motive and no alibi, well then, I think it's pretty clear Kyoko's gotta be the culprit.
I'm not the only one without an alibi. Makoto's explanation is still insufficient.
Huh?
The sprinklers didn't get the body wet, but that doesn't mean the murder happened when he said it did.
What are you...
Because you see, there is a way the body could have avoided getting wet.
Interesting. I'm listening.
All it would take is covering the body with a certain something to keep it from getting wet.
Certainly something at the scene that was used to cover the body. It could have been the tarp.
I got it!
Just like I said.
You're talking about the tarp, aren't you?
You catch on quick. You're right. All you'd have to do is cover the body with the tarp, and that'd take care of the water. In fact, that's exactly what the killer did. The dirt pattern on the tarp can attest to that. Only one side of the tarp got dirty, because that's the side that got covered in water. The side that faced down over the body, meanwhile, kept perfectly clean. This proves that the killer used the tarp to keep the body from getting soaked.
But why would they go to all that effort just to keep the body from getting wet?
Most likely so they could cloud the issue of when the murder actually took place. In other words, to create an excuse exactly like the one Makoto just gave us.
Oh. Why would Kyoko say that? Why would she want me to make... Why would she want to make me look like I'm the killer? No, I can't think about that right now. A tarp. If it was used the way Kyoko said, the tarp must have touched the body, right? But the body had the knife.
Something's not right.
And what might that be?
Can't worry about Kyoko's motivations. If I don't do something everyone's gonna think I'm the killer. I have to refute what Kyoko said. The knife. Yeah, body before the explosion. It's gotta be that.
By covering the body with the tarp, the killer prevented it from getting wet.
So the reason the tarp was only dirty on one side is because the sprinkler got that side wet.
Yep.
But the underside of the tarp, it was totally spotless, right?
It's because that side was protected from the water. Since
Yeah.
it was facing down toward the body, of course it didn't get dirty.
No, that's wrong. Actually, one side being clean is pretty strange if you think about it. Because the blood wasn't dry before the body got blown up, right? Yakuya said it himself. Not to touch it, or you might get some on you. If you put a tarp on a body in that state, it absolutely would have gotten blood on it.
Well, maybe the culprit washed it, so nobody...
If they had, they would have washed both sides. Just washing the one side wouldn't hide anything.
Oh, yeah, true.
More than that, what if the very blood we saw on the body was meant as a kind of camouflage?
What was camouflage?
After the killer used the tarp to avoid the sprinklers, they then covered the body in blood that didn't belong to the victim.
You mean someone else's blood? Where
No.
would you get something like that?
You don't mean.
I know! They could have grabbed some of the blood packs from the nurse's office. That's what Hifumi did, right? When he pretended to be dead?
No, that's not what happened this
There's
time.
no way
the
they
killer
did
got the
it.
blood from right there in the garden.
No! No, don't tell me. Is it... No. Is it?
I got it!
Okay, who is the culprit? And how can I...
What? Chicken blood?
Ooh. That's evil, that's vile, that's...
When I checked the chicken coop
Wow.
before the murder, there were 5
Ugh.
chickens.
God damn it. Not...
But after the
Why?
murder, there were only 4.
So, you're saying someone killed a chicken and then covered the body with its blood? Man, that's messed up.
Exactly!
Killing a living thing just to do something like that is awful. They should have at least eaten it.
I wonder if the killer had to get the blood from the scene so they wouldn't be spotted walking around. Anyway,
God.
there's no denying that a chicken went missing, which provides a basis for my theory.
Perhaps, but even so, there's one thing that you said the culprit used the tarp to avoid the water and then covered the body in blood, right? But if that's the case, then the blood should have soaked into the ground around the body. But that's not what we saw. Only the victim's clothing had blood on it. The ground was completely clean.
Right.
I have to agree, that certainly is strange. Maybe they didn't apply the blood at the scene. Maybe they covered the coat in blood beforehand.
They covered it beforehand?
When you discovered the body, was it wearing the coat like you normally would?
I think so. Wait, no. The head was through the neck hole, but the arms weren't in the sleeves.
Then that settles it.
Sorry, I'm having a tough time keeping up.
Here's what happened. The murder took place before the sprinklers went off, but
Right.
the body didn't get wet because the killer covered it with the tarp. Then, later, at the same time the killer was gathering up the tarp, they pulled the coat over the body, the coat they'd already covered in blood. This series of cover-ups was meant to disguise the actual time the murder occurred. They wanted us to think the murder
What about the
happened
bomb?
sometime after the sprinklers
Because
had gone
we were
off
there
at
before
7:30.
it happened. Like, in the gym, and that's when we found the bomb. Then we left to go confront the mastermind, and then, or break into the headmaster's office. Then Toko went to the garden to get the pickaxe, and that's when they discovered the body. But then when we did the investigation, went back to the gym, there was no bomb. So the bomb had to have somehow gotten from the gym to where the body was at from I think it was like 7:30 to 7:30 to 9 around. That's like the time frame. But Makoto was with them the whole time, so how would Makoto have moved along? That doesn't make sense. There's a flaw there.
If that's actually what took place, it certainly becomes possible that the murder happened earlier.
But to pull all that off, wouldn't they have had to go back to the garden after the sprinklers turned off?
That actually wouldn't have been all that difficult.
Huh?
They already had the coat ready, so they just had to grab the tarp and pull the coat over the body. They'd be done in no time.
Maybe.
Hina, after you met up with Makoto in the dining hall, did you two stay together from that point on?
Oh no. I headed off to the gym, and Makoto didn't show up till later.
Uh-oh.
And he had plenty of time to spare, wouldn't you say?
That's not...
Don't bother saying it's not possible.
I must admit, Kyoko's reasoning is sound. Makoto's alibi is inadequate.
And suspicion falls back on me again. But why? Why is Kyoko trying to entrap me? I don't understand. This guy's dead body.
Well then, it looks like we're back to square one. Makoto's alibi is no good, so once again, our suspects are him and Kyoko.
For serious, man? Which one of them did it? Hey, why don't we let luck decide? Let's flip a coin. 50-50 odds.
Oh!
See? Pretty good idea, right?
No, not that. I just remembered something super serious.
Well, don't just stand there. Out with it.
You know that knife we found all black and burnt?
Uh-oh. I can see where this is going.
One we found stuck in the body before it exploded, right? According to the Monokuma file, the knife went all the way through, from front to back. So, what about it?
I'm pretty sure I'd seen that knife somewhere before. That's what I thought when I first saw it.
They gave it to me. Or to Makoto, actually, rather. Yeah. He gave it to, yeah. Makoto.
It's the knife we gave to Makoto?
You don't seem surprised.
Yeah,
Then why did you hide that fact?
it's not that I hid it.
It's just... Couldn't be sure what actually happened this night. I thought maybe I really did kill her.
Suspicious. Very suspicious indeed. The knife we found stuck in the body came from Makoto. Now I'm totally convinced he did it. 12,000% convinced.
Considering everything up till now, I should be able to make it clear. I have to prove I didn't murder anyone. I am not the killer. It's just like the first trial. You have to prove that we are not the killer. Except we don't really have any cards in our favor.
The knife we found lodged in the dead body.
It's the same one we gave to Makoto.
It really is, isn't it? I was afraid of that.
If he did have that knife before, then that seals it. Makoto did it.
Just
No,
because I
wait.
had the knife once, that automatically
Oh.
makes me the killer?
Well, getting stabbed is what killed her, right? So there's no question. You took that knife of yours and killed her with it.
What a horrible man you are, Makoto.
We've already established that the code was put on after the tarp was removed, which means the knife was thrust through the coat into the body.
The knife we found lodged in the dead body.
It's the same one we gave to Makoto.
It really
Yeah.
is, isn't it?
If he did have that, that seals it. Just because I had that automatic...
Well, getting stabbed is what killed her.
No, was it? No, wait, hang on. Yeah, can't have been because the knife. Yeah.
Wait, hold on. The stab wound isn't what killed Mukuro. That should be clear from the description of the cover-up we just heard.
Lies! We never talked about what killed her.
No, Don't you remember? The killer covered the dead body with the tarp, and then put the bloody coat on it. In other words, the victim never wore that blood-stained coat until after they were dead.
Okay, fine. So what?
So, when we discovered the body,
the knife was stabbing through the coat. So if
the
they...
knife had been thrust through the coat along with the body. Meaning, if she wasn't stabbed until the coat was put on, and she was already dead at that point, obviously the stab wound isn't what killed her.
Maybe you stabbed her twice. Once to kill her and once to cover it up.
There's only one stab wound.
I got it! The Monokuma file clearly states that there was only one stab wound.
Oh yeah, it sure did. Totally forgot about that.
Then the knife
was just another piece of camouflage set up by the true killer. They probably stabbed her to draw attention away from what actually killed her. Exploding the body afterward was probably meant to do the same thing. The explosion severely damaged the body, making it impossible to know what really killed her. It was all the killer's attempt to destroy all evidence of their crime.
So they wanted us to notice the stab wound and then detonated the body afterward. They meant for us to latch onto the knife as the cause of death, then destroy any evidence proving otherwise.
Oh, hey, I have a question. It kinda goes, what's the deal with that explosion anyway? Why'd the body just blow up all of a sudden like that?
If you bothered to put that lump of gray matter between your ears to use, you'd know the answer.
Well, if you're so smart, just tell me.
I'll tell you. I bet some unknown quantum particle caused an atomic level spontaneous combustion!
I might be dumb, but even I'm not dumb enough to believe that.
Go ahead, Makoto. Tell her or we won't make any headway on this.
We want to make sure I can think of for the explosion. That's...
I got it! After the explosion, we found a tiny fragment of something on the ground near the body, right? That fragment reveals the cause of the explosion.
Huh? You know, I feel like I've seen something like it somewhere before.
That's only natural, because of course, we saw the same thing when we dismantled Monokuma. It's part of a bomb.
Oh! Then the explosion was because of the Monokuma bomb.
Anyway, the culprit's motive is becoming more and more obvious by the minute. They wanted the knife wound to look like the fatal injury so that we'd suspect Makoto. And the only one who would benefit from that is the only other possible suspect. You, Kyoko.
Hold on a second, Byakuya.
What's the problem?
Well, I just feel like we need to think this through. We still don't know what actually killed...
That's true. It's definitely bugging me. What really killed her?
Fine. I have no problem with that. Let us continue the debate. It won't change the facts of the case regardless.
We need to determine what ultimately killed the victim. I need to concentrate. Wait, the Monokuma file also said that there was a head wound. Like, about, like, the thick... Like a lead pipe or something, right? Like, about, like, the width of a lead pipe, right? Yeah, I did say that.
Then, shall we continue the debate? The victim's fatal injury has yet to be determined, correct?
Very
The
important.
explosion didn't kill her for sure,
Right.
I guess.
Well, yeah. She was already totally dead when that happened.
And it wasn't because of the knife, right?
Was not.
There's only one other thing.
Oh yeah. According to the Monokuma file, that's gotta be it. There was evidence that showed she was hit on the back of her head.
I feel like it's
More than
important.
that,
Damn it.
the victim had suffered countless wounds across
I don't
her
remember that.
Entire body.
No. Fortnite is best game. If you
Then shall
if
we
you like
continue the
it,
debate?
whatever. That's fine by
The
me.
victim's fatal
Let-
injury has
that's
yet to be
okay.
determined, correct?
I don't like it though.
Explosion didn't kill her
Honestly.
for sure. I guess.
I.
Well, yeah. She was already totally dead when that happened.
And it wasn't because of the knife, right?
I keep missing. Damn!
There's only one
I keep
other
missing the
thing.
white noise.
Oh yeah.
No negotiation.
According to the Monokuma file, that's gotta be it. There was evidence
Oh.
that showed she was hit on the back of her head.
Opinion? I guess you haven't heard of what an opinion is, then.
The victim had suffered countless wounds across her entire body.
Ah, damn it.
Shoot!
How does a know you even work? Opinion died? I should just remember that the fact that I can't, that I really can't argue with my friends once they have their mindset
Shall
on
we continue
something.
the debate? The
And
victim's
they just
fatal
stick
injury
to that
has
no
yet to be
matter
determined, correct?
what I
The
say.
explosion didn't kill her for sure. I guess.
Well, yeah. She was already totally dead when that happened.
And it
Even
wasn't
though I have my own
because of the
opinions,
knife,
doesn't
right?
matter.
And then there's only one other thing.
Yes.
Oh yeah. According to the Monokuma file,
Remember.
that's gotta be it. There was evidence that showed she was hit on the back of her head.
And more than that, the victim had suffered countless wounds across her entire body. Then shall we continue the debate?
Bonk.
The victim's fatal injury has yet to be determined, correct?
The explosion didn't kill her for sure. I guess.
Well, yeah. She was already totally dead when that happened.
And it wasn't because of the knife, right? And then there's only one other thing.
Oh yeah. According to the Monokuma file, that's gotta be it. There was evidence that showed she was hit on the back of her head.
And more than that, the victim had suffered countless wounds across her entire body.
Probably got
Then
something to
shall we
do
continue
with
The debate. The victim's fatal
what Hero
Explosion
said.
didn't kill.
Well, yeah.
And it wasn't then.
Oh yeah. That's gotta be it.
Probably has
There was
something to do with
evidence
this.
that showed she was hit on the back of her.
And more than that, the victim had suffered countless wounds across her entire.
Then shall
We continue the victim's.
Fatal injury has
Nope,
yet
it.
to be
Damn it!
correct?
The explosion didn't kill.
Well,
Well, now I gotta absorb it again because absorb bullets
Oh, yeah.
freaking suck.
That's gotta be it. There was evidence that
showed she was. And more than that, the victim had suffered countless wounds across her entire.
Yeah.
Then shall we continue the victim's.
fatal injury has yet to
No, we have determined it.
No, that's wrong.
It has been determined. Bonk.
Mukuro died because of the blow to the back of the head she suffered.
What about the wounds all over the rest of her body?
The Monokuma file makes it clear that those weren't fresh.
Oh yeah, good point. If they were old, I guess they don't really matter.
Okay, then we're safe in assuming the blow to the back of her head is what killed her.
But then, what was the murder weapon?
The Monokuma file says she was hit with a blunt object, about as thick as a
metal pipe.
Oh, I bet it was the pickaxe.
What?
How is that even possible? If you hit someone with that, it'd cave their skull in completely.
Well,
Yeah.
Maybe they held it the other way and hit her with the handle.
It wouldn't be thick. It's not thick enough, and it's made of wood.
No way! The
Exactly.
balance would be all off. You wouldn't be able to swing it with any
Or that.
power. I wouldn't mind testing it on you if you want.
No thanks. I bet you just hit me with the metal end and call it an accident.
I'd love to scoop out that nasty brain of yours, throw it on the ground.
Seriously?
We want to figure out what killed her, right?
We already know.
Yeah.
So what
They are
was it?
too.
Go ahead and tell them, Makoto.
Real murder weapon. This isn't a knife. This isn't a bomb. This is the chickens. Maybe the titanium arrows?
I got it!
Yeah.
Mukuro was hit in the back. And that something was the titanium arrow we found.
Arrow.
Indeed. There's no doubt about it.
Are you sure?
Hey! How dare you!
I'm not back-talking anything. I'm just saying what I think.
You don't blame him for doubting it because it's one more thing about the weapon. One more secret. Mm. Bloody duct tape. We also found that at the
titanium arrow.
in the locker, so
It was
probably
in
has
the
something to
dojo
do with
locker,
it.
right?
Yes.
I have no doubt that was the murder weapon.
Right.
You sure?
You don't sound convinced. What's the problem?
Well,
Ah.
'cause in the Monokuma file, it said the weapon must have been about as thick as a metal pipe, right? It seems like an arrow would just be too...
No, that's wrong.
Hey.
You're right. Just the one arrow would have been too weak. That's why the killer used another weapon.
Another weapon?
Inside the dojo locker, we also found a balled up wad of duct tape. The killer probably used this duct tape to bind multiple arrows together. Bundling them together using the duct tape would easily create a single weapon as thick as a pipe. And that's exactly what the killer did.
It's similar
Hey.
to Aesop's fable about the bundle of sticks. One stick is weak, but put them together and they become strong. It's meant to teach cooperation.
Nice.
Oh, that's harsh.
How is it harsh? Are you even listening?
Anyway, that explains the murder weapon.
Never heard of that fable.
As for who the culprit is that stashed the weapon in the dojo locker, it was you, Kyoko.
I've never been to the dojo.
Oh no, you absolutely have.
How can you say that?
Woodblock
with
key.
such
Because we have proof, of course. Don't we, Makoto? What's the matter? Surely you don't intend to protect a murderer. You know what will happen if you do, don't you? If you cover for the culprit, there's only the death of us all. Remember?
Of course I remember.
Then show us. Show everyone the evidence that proves Kyoko went to the dojo.
Let's be confused in that dojo locker. Woodblock key. I keep forgetting that it's triangle.
The one thing that proves Kyoko was in the dojo is right here. The key to the dojo locker.
And how does that prove anything?
Because I found it in your room.
It was in my room?
Don't bother trying to play dumb. That key is just the final piece of the puzzle. Your non-existent alibi, your clear motive, your attempts to frame Makoto for the crime. This all proves that you are the true culprit. You can't explain this away, so just give up.
Hold on a second.
Not this again. You really are dead set on defending her, aren't you?
No, it's not. There's one more thing I need. Kyoko, last night, you were in my room, weren't you? Why? What were you doing there? That's what I need to know.
I was just protecting you.
What?
She was protecting me? Does that mean she knew I was being attacked? And she came to my rescue. Could that be what she mean that Kyoko, she killed someone for me?
That's enough. The time for idle chatter is over. A verdict is close at hand.
Wait, I'm warning you. Don't make this mistake. I'm not the killer.
I knew you were stubborn, but this is just getting ridiculous.
Really? But you should know better than anyone I didn't do it. Can you tell me I'm wrong?
I should know.
What? Byakuya should know better than anyone? What does that mean? Wait, the woodblock key shouldn't even be there because this Byakuya had her key. Oh! Oh! So it
Those
couldn't have
words
been
you just
Kyoko.
spoke. What do you mean?
Exactly what I said.
Wait, then... Who?
I'm not the killer. You should understand that more than anyone here.
Byakuya, what are you hiding?
Master would never hide something from me.
There's proof that you aren't the culprit.
Oh, damn it.
Shoot!
Those Those words you just...
Exactly. I'm not, but you should understand.
Byakuya!
Master would
There's proof that you... Is that what...
You stated a theory. You said I hid the evidence of my crime in the dojo locker, and then left the locker key in my own room, correct?
Yep.
But could I really have done that?
Kyoko gave her room key to Byakuya, right? Which would mean
Those words
wouldn't have done it.
Exactly. I'm not, but you should understand.
Byakuya!
Master would
There's proof that you... Is that what you're...
You stated it. You said I hid and then left.
The locker key in my own room, correct?
But could I really have done that?
Those words you just spoke.
Exactly what I said. I'm not, but you should understand that.
Byakuya, what are you hiding?
Master would never hide something.
There's proof...
That you aren't?
No, that's wrong. If I'm right, Kyoko wouldn't have been able to get into her room.
Huh? Why not?
Because she had given her room key to Byakuya.
I see. So that's what you meant. And if I had the key to your room...
Then obviously I had no way of getting in. Without my room key, I couldn't have possibly put the locker key in there myself. Am I wrong?
It would appear not.
Then you're finally starting to understand.
No, that's actually not true. There's a clear contradiction in what Kyoko just told us. An obvious lie. This just isn't like her. To try and save herself with such a desperate lie? Does she really feel threatened? Because she isn't the killer? I'm going to save right now. Is it something else? Is there something people moving like Kyoko said? If you open side candy, that happened. This is a trap the Mastermind is laid for us. The Mastermind is trapped. The Mastermind is trying to trap Kyoko? But what if that's not really true? What can I do? What should I do? What should I... The Mastermind's trap. The victim was Mukuro and Kyoko killed her? What does Kyoko really know? What am I supposed to do? Kyoko's lie. I'm the only one who knows it's a lie. I'm the only one who can expose it. But who can I trust? What am I supposed to do? Mastermind's trap. If you spend all your time trying to avoid danger, you get... What do I do? I have to decide right here. And here is where we get to an interesting little part. We could either pursue the lie and get a bad ending, which is actually kind of funny, but I'll probably save that for another time. Or we can let it go and continue on our path to the true ending, which is what I'm going to do right now. I made my decision. I have to believe in Kyoko. There's no way she would kill someone. There has to be some secret here. Something that has to do with the Mastermind's trap that
Well,
Kyoko
does no
mastered.
one have a rebuttal? Have you decided to accept her assertion as fact? I see. I suppose we have to admit that Kyoko didn't...
But who else could it have been?
I mean, Byakuya had a root.
You!
But of course, I have an alibi. From nighttime, I couldn't possibly have killed anyone, or put the key in Kyoko's room.
Well, someone had to put the key in there.
There's only one other possibility I can think of. Someone could have had the key on them, then once they arrived at the scene, pretended to find it there.
What? It had to be Makoto.
I don't see any other option.
Wait a second. You've got it all wrong. Let's think about it one more time. There's gotta be a hidden side to this case.
Huh? A hidden side?
First of all, there's something off about this entire trial. You all see it, don't you? Mukuro, who we didn't even know existed, suddenly shows up dead. And then we're thrown into a trial. And Kyoko even said, it's a trap the Mastermind set for us. So that's why this has to be...
Okay!
Huh?
Time's up! Class trial's all over!
What? Time's up?
Ooh, that's a funky looking sprite. I think this might be like one of the only times that you see
What
the
do you
sprite.
mean time's up? There's no time's up. Since when have we...
It's because you were late, so we had to push back the start time. So then, it's time for voting time, okay? Every
Voting time?
Now, who will be Hey, hold on! What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be?
What? You think I'm the killer? Sorry, man.
Sorry.
Yeah, sorry. It's all your fault. Everything. You're wrong. You've got it all wrong. I didn't do it.
Yes, indeed.
Good job.
Yep.
They got it right. No, that's not no, that's not true. None of this makes any sense. The whole trial doesn't make any sense.
Hey!
It makes perfect sense. It's the same as always. It's just like all the other class trials, and I'm gonna end it the same way.
Chills, chills, kills!
It's time for your heart-pounding, positively thrilling punishment. Wait, why do I... Kyoko.
I don't expect you to forgive me. I know this is all my fault.
Kyoko?
Let's give it everything we've got! It's punishment time!
Oh no. What? That was alter ego.
What?
It looked, at least I think it was alter ego. It had Chihiro's head and all, and it was on screen, so I would assume it's alter ego. What's this? What's going on? Hey, what's that? Yeah, it had to be. Alter ego. Alter ego? Is this some stupid virus from that stupid guy? He must have planted it when he invaded my network. Damn it all to hell. I don't believe this.
It would seem...
Seems he finally made a miscalculation. No. You miscalculated from the very beginning.
What the heck?
In other words...
What I'm saying is, you shouldn't have underestimated us. Why are you talking like you've already won? I barely felt a thing. It was a pinch, an inch. That stupid virus is gone. Now, got it? And so is Makoto. Maybe I didn't get to smash him flat, but you're never gonna see him again. So waste away in a garbage-strewn pit. In a way, that's an even better special punishment. But it's still not enough. I'm still not satisfied. I'm still gonna bring despair to the rest of you. Bring despair to the entire world. Is she gone? Hey, Kyoko, what's the meaning of all this? Just what the hell is going on?
Calm down.
It's okay. We're not the ones being trapped this time.
In other words...
Now it's the mastermind that's ensnared.
What did you say?
So...
You'll understand soon enough. Very soon indeed. Massive high school towers all over the other buildings in this. Massive high school towers over all the other buildings in this bustling urban area. It's like the school stands at the center of the world. Hope's Peak Academy. It brings in top students from every field imaginable. A government-funded school of privilege. They say that if you come here and manage to graduate, you'll be set for life. With hundreds of years of tradition, it sends the cream of the crop into the workforce every year. It was built to raise hope in the nation's future, which makes Hope's Peak a pretty fitting name. There are two things you need to attend this school. One, you have to already be attending high school. Two, you have to be the very best at what you do. No ordinary student could enroll here. The only way in is if you are scouted by the school itself. Standing there at the gate of the school, filled with the ultimate students, was me. What? Where am I? I woke up with my head resting on top of a hard wooden desk. My body felt heavy. It wouldn't be weird for me to zonk off in the middle of some boring class or whatever, but what was I doing to sleep here just now? It wasn't any classroom that I had ever seen before. What the heck is going on? I finally feel my mind and body start to come back together again. And then, I was awake. Or was this just another dream? A dream inside a hopeless nightmare? No, this isn't a dream. I could tell because the stench invading my nostrils was too powerful for a dream. An awful smell. It was in a vast, dark cavern with the barest hint of light seeping in. Trash was piled all across the area. This must be some kind of underground garbage pit. A heck of a situation to find myself in. That was just the beginning of my problems. Was I going to be stuck here? Stuck in there till I wasted away and died? No. I can't let that happen. Not after what my good friend went through to save me. I remembered all too well what happened. Alter Ego saved me. And he used up the last little bit of his strength to do it. So I can't give up now. For myself and for my friend. And with that, my pursuit of survival began. First up was to start looking for a way out of here. Well, there's a big door right there. But I think I'm going to end this stream here. And so maybe, depending on my schedule, we may be able to finish this tomorrow. Who knows? Alright, well, that'll be all. That'll be all, I guess. So, yeah, thanks to those who showed up, and thanks to those who are watching on YouTube. If you enjoyed this, if you're watching this on YouTube and you enjoyed it, feel free to leave a like. Subscribe, maybe even. I stream all the time on twitch.tv/TheGamesKid12. Well, not all the time, but I stream whenever I can. Whenever I have time. You can usually find me here on my Twitch, just streaming, having a good time. If you all want to come by, just stop by and say hi in chat if you want. Alright, well, yeah, that'll do it for today. I guess I'll see you guys later. Bye.